Selena and Aria. So Selena and Aria grew up in the same neighborhood. Of course, they were born with a golden spoon. Oh yes, their parents were so wealthy. For those of you who are familiar with the Nigerian slangs, they call them ajebota. So they literally they went to the same nursery school and primary school, anything they want they get. They lived a life of princess, princess lifestyle right from birth. These two, so they happened to school in the same nursery school, primary school. So after their primary school, they both decided to go to a higher school together. That's the secondary school. They got to the school, but let me tell you a little bit about them. So Selena is this quiet, reserved girl. Why Aria? Aria is all over the place. She's a sanguine, if you know what that means. Like, she's everywhere. She's full of energy. She wants to do things. She wants to explore, But, Selena is more like a reserved, what do you call these people? Mona reminds me now. So anyway, she's actually reserved and, always indoors. She's not always out there. I'm trying to remember the name. Anyway, as time goes on, we'll try to remember. So they got into the secondary school, and Aria is all over the place. She feels like she's all grown up now, and she wants to start mingling with bad guys, bad girls. So she mingled with those kind of crew. They were all rich kids, but some of them were spoiled. So those are the kind of people she likes to hang out with, bad guys. Get what I mean? Why? Selena, on the other hand, she's a very quiet person, reserved, not an outgoing person. She doesn't really like to talk to people that much, she just stay on her lane, mind her business, study, hi, hello, and that's it. And she was actually doing very well in her grades, or rather with her grades. So they got to JS3. Guess what? Aria was already smoking. She was already smoking, going out, having parties, and thereby she will lie to her parents that she's at Selena's place. She will lie that she's at Selena's place, that she's there for studies. Meanwhile, she's out with her bad friends. And Selena keeps telling her, girl, you're here to study. You're not even yet in school. Like, you're not in the university yet, but you're just all over the place. So what happens if you get to a higher institution? What happens? Selena, Aria will say, oh, please spare me all that bull crap. I'm a grown up, okay? And then Selena will be like, okay, but you're not even yet in SS2. She said, very soon we'll get there, and when we get there, you know what that means. But right now, I need to figure out my life. I need to have fun. I'm not like you. You're a boring girl, So sometimes they have these parties, when they graduate from school, from a particular class. And this particular party was when they all graduated from JS3. Yes, I need to be specific so that you guys follow me. So they graduated from secondary JS3 and then enter SS1. Selena started going for parties. In fact, the first party, that particular party they had, was the party for the graduation from JS3. Selena didn't go, but Aria, of course, she was all over the place. Miss Sanguine, she was all over the place. Meanwhile, Selena, the introverted soul, would rather prefer to stay inside her room and do whatever she wants to do. You understand? And be happy. You get me? Sometimes she'll just, make content, say very interesting things that people will like, and she kept having followers and all of that. She's very good at what she does anyway. So that's in the social media space, yeah. So Finally, Desha graduated from secondary school and then got admission into the higher institution, that's the university, right? Both of them decided to study same major, like same course, right? And they were sharing in school, and there's this guy named Joseph that liked Selena, and Selena was still a virgin. She was like, oh, whoever I'm gonna date is a person that's gonna get married to me. I'm not gonna break my virginity just like you, Aria. And then she'll be like, okay, so help us God, sarcastically. She'll be like, keep saving it too. So anyways, they shall enter school together and they were studying mass communication, right? So they got the same apartment, they stay in the same apartment, not the hostel. They are big girls. Already they've learned how to drive, so they have their cars, right? Mind you, and let me remind you, they are from a very wealthy and reputable family. Also, Selena has 2 brothers, but she's the only girl. While Aria has, 3 brothers and she is the only girl, right? So Selena will go to school, she'll study, and Joseph came along, and then she was so scared, too scared, and Joseph tried hard to be like a very, gentle guy. By the way, he's also studying mass communication, and he's very intelligent. He is outspoken. He's an alpha boy, very prestigious, and also from a wealthy home. So this school normally now for Ajebotas, the rich people, you understand, people with caliber. So Joseph came, and as time passed, she accepted the relationship. Joseph would take her out, spoil her, But then, on the other hand, Aria, she started joining herself, having friends that takes drugs. Yes, so before you know it, Aria started taking drugs. She would smoke, she would take drugs, she would drink, she would go out, Finally, they got into their 300 level. Fast forward to 300 level. So Joseph also started, mingling with bad guys, started having friends, bad friends, guys who smoke and drink and all of that. And then Selena would tell him, please don't do that. It's not good. It's not good for your health. Why are you joining Aria to live this kind of life? It's a disgusting life. It will send you to your grave if care is not taken. You have to focus on your studies and do the right thing. Joseph would say, oh, don't worry yourself, okay? I know you're a small girl. You don't know anything, So finally, Joseph started getting bored of her. And Aria, on the other hand, she's always in club, she's always going out, she's always having drugs. Whenever she comes back from the hostel, from the lecture, she'll come in, she'll take drugs, she'll smoke, and it keeps disturbing Selena, because Selena don't know how to do all of those things. Though Aria has tried to introduce it to her, but she still, stand her ground. So time passed, or rather months on. Selena, went to visit what's his name? Joseph. Went to visit Joseph, and guess what? Joseph was taking drugs. He was taking drugs, and he was looking so horrible. He was so weak, and then he was just talking way out of point. And then Selena said, I don't think I'm going to break my virginity for you, because you are not put together, and I cannot see myself spend the rest of my life with you, And then Joseph later pretended like, okay, he's going to stop. He pretends like he's going to stop. And when I take the bargain like that, so he pretended like he was going to stop, but, whenever he sees her, he will act normal and all of that. So a day came. Joseph and Selena finally did the or they had sex, you understand, and Joseph broke her virginity. So ever since then, Selena fell deeply in love with him, like, and Joseph started acting up. He started acting up, like, okay, you need to take some drugs with me. I mean, I can't do without drugs. Seeing that Selena was loving him uncontrollably or whatever, so he was beginning to act funny, right? He was beginning to act funny, and Selena loved him so much that she doesn't want to lose him for anything in the world. So she later complained to Aria that CCCC was going on. Joseph said he was going to stop smoking, he was going to stop taking drugs, but he still continued even after giving him my virginity. Then Aria said, oh, so you were actually a virgin? You were a virgin? And then Selena was like, can you stop pretending like you don't know I'm a virgin? He said, no, I'm just joking anyway. So, but why would you give your virginity to someone that you're not so sure of? Why would you do that? That is why I said you should take drugs, so that you will have sense. Because you don't have sense, this boy will just play you, you know? And then she was like, no, it's not about that right now he's trying to introduce her to drugs and she doesn't want to take drugs. Then Aria said, but it's not a bad thing if you take drugs. What's the big deal? Go to party. You don't like going to party with him, you don't like doing anything with him, you just go to the shopping mall, restaurant, movies. That's a boring lifestyle. That's a boring lifestyle. You need to learn to, you know, have fun with your man. He's your man, so whatever he says you should do, go ahead and do it. What's the big deal? You know. So Aria was just, you know, just talking and Selena said, oh, okay, I've heard you, I'm gonna try to do it. Then he said, okay, learn how to do all these things so that he will love you the more, you know. Then she didn't take it though, but she said she was gonna give it time. Then a day came and she went to Joseph's crib. On getting to the crib, she knocked and Joseph was with another girl, you know, and she felt bad. She was like, what are you doing? Why are you cheating on me? Blah blah blah. And Joseph was like, why won't I cheat on you? I mean, you're not ready to live the life. I'm with a girl who wants to live and enjoy her life, who has the same energy as me, but you're not ready for life, and I don't like people that are boring. So I'm sorry, yeah, we're breaking up. I don't want to have anything to do with you because I want to enjoy myself with someone who understands the energy, someone who understands who loves my persona. And then you know, she was like, oh my God, but why would you do this to me? Selena felt bad, she cried, she screamed, you know, and then she left. And then Joseph sent her a message and told her, please, it's over between us, don't call me again, I don't want to ever see you. And you know, so she felt so bad, you know, everyone knew, even in school her grades were now going down. And finally she, you know, she couldn't take it anymore, and then she told Joseph that, okay, good, I'm fine, I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. Whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do it, but if only you let that girl go and just come back to me and be my man. And then Joseph said, okay, since you're ready to have fun now, then I would consider, you know, the whole friendship thing with you again. Ew. That was how Selena went to Joseph's place, and then Joseph introduced her to taking drugs. She took drugs, and she was not herself, you know. Joseph made love to her. They went out, they came back. It was a bad one, but then, you know, Selena started losing focus. She started losing focus. Whenever she goes home, she meets another drug addict who is at home, who is always giving her drugs, to take. Aria will give her drugs, she will take, and then she'll go to her guy's place, she'll take another one. Things were really going bad. It was not very, very bad. At some point, Aria was not advising her, babe, it's like you need to stop taking this thing, you know, because I feel like you're overdoing it, you know, you're overdoing it. So she didn't stop. And then a time came, she went to Joseph's place and caught Joseph with the same girl. And Joseph started begging, oh, I'm so sorry, she just came around and I was on drugs and that was how we get down. I'm so sorry, it won't happen again. I mean, it's just for today. And then he asked the girl to leave. The girl's name is Rose. Rose, can you just get up? My girl is here. And that one, she doesn't care, because Rose is not the type of person that wants a serious relationship anyway. So what's her business? You get me? So Selena was really down. She felt really bad. She went home, she cried, she took drugs to the point that things went really bad and she passed out. And the mom had called her earlier on. She didn't pick. Then 2 days passed, the mom called, she still didn't pick her call, And sometimes when she picks the call, she doesn't even talk normal. She talks anyhow to her mom. Okay, she has changed, yeah, mom, why are you calling? Why are you calling me like this? Don't you know I'm in school, I'm in class, just, So there was no atom of remorse, love, or respect for her parents anymore. She has lost everything, No humility. She's no longer humble. She just lived her life anyhow. And then that very day, the mom was calling and she was disturbed and she decided to come to school. And when she came to school, she saw Selena with drugs on her nose and everything. She had passed out. She quickly rushed her to the hospital. And when they got to the hospital, they said, oh, your child needs to go for a rehabilitation because the drugs she had taken is too much and it has eaten into her deeply. And then when Selena woke up from her coma or whatever, then her mom called her dad. It was on loudspeaker, or rather it was on speaker. The dad said, no, it's high time she stops school and go for rehabilitation. Once she's done, then she can come back. And then she started crying. She said she's not going to do it again. She's going to behave herself. She's not going to go back to it. And then the mother said, okay, let's give her a chance. So they put her back in school. She continued schooling, but it became worse. So that night, she went to see Joseph. Joseph took her out. They went out. Before they even left, they had taken drugs, And then they went out, they came back, and then Selena decided to, she wants to take more drugs. And Joseph was like, no, it's too much. Come on, you already had drink, you smoke, and you took some drugs even before we left. So what the fuck? Are you a junkie or something? And she said, I don't give a fuck, She just wanted it. And that was how Joseph gave her drugs, and before you know it, she started shaking, She started shaking, and then she fell on the bed, and Joseph had to call Aria. I don't know what's going on. Please, is this how she behaves when she takes drugs? So Aria had to okay, I'll come to your house, and then we'll take her to the hospital. So before Aria came, they rushed her into the car, took her to the hospital. She had already started bleeding through her nose, blood, ears, everything. By the time she gets to the hospital, she's dead. They had to call the family, and then everybody came. It was a sad moment. It was a disaster. And of course, Joseph and Aria were locked up in the prison. They gave them maximum of 10 years imprisonment. So what did you learn from this story? Drugs doesn't heal pain. Drugs doesn't make you happy. Drugs will only destroy you. It destroys potentials. Please stay away from drugs. Do well to stay away from drugs, okay? My name is Miss Tunj, and I remain your number one, your champion, storyteller in the whole wide world. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe and follow my YouTube channel for more. Thank you. Bye. Please like, share, and comment. Thank you so much.